Today on Armchair Operator Guns and Gear Reviews, we're going to do a tabletop review slash first shots of the FN510 Tactical. Let's get to it.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love.
What's going on, y'all? It's your big homie, the Armchair Operator, and welcome to today's program. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. Have a seat, put your feet up, get comfortable. I hope you enjoyed today's program. And if you're returning to the channel, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate you all the love and support, and I hope that you also enjoyed today's video. Now today we're going to, as I said in the intro, we're going to do a tabletop review slash first shots of the FN510 Tactical here, chambered in 10mm. Now the FN510 has been out for a little over a year now, and it has gotten a lot of praise throughout just about all over the gun community. As far as I am aware, I have yet to hear one serious negative review about this pistol. And if y'all know me, y'all know I not only do honest reviews, but I like to reserve my own opinion for anything. So I've been looking to get the FN510 last year when I got the 545, but I opted for the 545 at the time because one, like I like 45 ACP, but also at the time I had the FNX45 Tactical, and I really wanted to compare the two between each other, so that's why I opted for that. But now I finally got that FN510 Tactical for y'all, and this particular gun has been requested by a number of people in the comment section, so I'm definitely glad to be able to deliver that for y'all. So if you're familiar with my reviews, y'all know how I usually do it. I'm gonna take you over to the tabletop. We're just going to go through the specs and the features of the firearm real quick, talk about what it comes with, and then I'm just going to give you my initial impressions of how the pistol handled for me on the range. So it's just a first shots. I only put 150 rounds through it, so you know, I'll give you my impressions as far as that. So, all right, so let's head on over to the review space and let's look at the gun. Okay, and welcome to the review space. And here we are with the FN510 in its packaging. So, as you can see, it's just a standard cardboard box, as we are all familiar with FN pistols. But let's go ahead and open it up and take the pistol out, or rather the range bag. And it's basically what we've all come to expect from FN, you know, to give us a nice little range carrying bag and all that. So that's cool. But let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. All right, and let's take a look at the pistol on the inside. So first thing we're going to do, first thing I always do, is verify clear. So as you can see, that chamber is empty. Camera's picking that up. Chamber is empty. Magazine is empty. The firearm is verified clear. And we are filming in a safe and controlled environment. There is no ammunition anywhere, live ammunition anywhere in my review space. So let's talk about the pistol. So here we are in all of its glory, right? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the feature set of this particular gun, and you know where I like to start. I like to start from the top. So we got our suppressor height night sights. As you can see, it has a 3-dot arrangement. Each dot has a tritium fill, so they do glow at night, hence the term night sights. I don't know if you can see the sight picture there. All right, so this is the tactical model, obviously, because you got the suppressor height sights, the threaded barrel, and it also has the 115 round magazine, and it has that 22 round magazine here. 22 rounds of 10mm is just, in a handgun, is just insanity. But anyway, let's back to the features. So we have our, I believe, 4.7-inch threaded barrel here. We have our standard slide serrations in the front. You can do good press checks that way if you like, or you can grab it back here. I like the serrations on the FN5 series of handguns. You know, they're grippy enough to get the job done. Your hand won't slip at all as you're grabbing those slide serrations, so I really like that. As also typical with FN handguns, this is a cold hammer forged barrel, so that's also a really nice feature. And let's see, optics ready, optics cut, and it also is optics ready. The gun does come with the plates in the I would say in the box, but you get the idea, in the bag, but we'll get to that in a minute. This particular gun is fully ambidextrous, so you have the magazine release here, and it's also on this side, as well as the slide stop here and here. So this gun is a fully ambi gun. Drop the mag on that side, you can drop the mag on that side, and we're good to go. Now, of course, your standard Picatinny rail here and your takedown lever here. It has some nice checkering on the sides of the grip itself. And one thing I do like about the FN5 series of guns also is that they put some texture here. A lot of companies seem to miss this piece, you know, because when you're grabbing the firearm with your support hand, where does the meat of that thumb go? Right there. So it's good that they included that here. And you know, you got your enlarged trigger guard, so that way you can manipulate the trigger if you're wearing gloves, which is definitely important if you're operating in cold weather environments. So obviously FN thought about that when they designed these pistols. So, you know, that's really good. And you have your back straps here. Now, this is the larger of the two back straps. This particular back strap was on the gun when I got it. It comes with two, and they're interchangeable, just like the FN545 and that predecessor, the FNX45 Tactical. Although the FNX45 Tactical came with 4 back straps, this only comes with 2. So there you go. And this is the flush fit 15 round magazine. All right, so you know what that, obviously what that flush fit looks like. And then we got the extended 22 rounder, just to give you a visual representation of what that looks like. High quality magazines, you know, they get the job done. All right, and let's check the poundage on the trigger. So, okay, first we're going to check again, verify the firearm is clear. And I got my handy dandy Wheeler trigger gauge here, so let's go ahead and try to check that trigger weight, shall we? So let's see. Well, this always eats me up, so just bear with me real quick. Okay, that looks like it's about a 5.5 pound pull. I don't know if you guys can see that. So let's just try it again. It feels like it's about a 5.5 pounds to me, and when I ran the gun on the range, it slipped. Yeah, I know. I need to get a trigger pull gauge that doesn't spin around like that. But anyway, again, a little under 5.5 pounds. So it has about a 5.5 pound trigger pull. It'll break in, it'll loosen up a bit as the handgun is broken in. So, I mean, all in all, it's a good combat / duty style trigger. It's pretty much on par with that with the 545. My 545 trigger is a little bit looser because I have more rounds through that, obviously, than this, but this will eventually catch up. So let's take a look at what else you get. All right, so like I said before, you get the optics mounting plates, and of course you get a bunch of stuff here. You got basically a quick setup guide here to mount your optics. And if you want to pause the video just to take a look at that, feel free to do so, but this just basically explains how to mount your optic of choice. And we have our customary gun lock here because safety, right? And also we have the optics mounting system itself. You got a couple plates here. You have an extra O-ring. You have some screws and a tool to put everything together. which is really cool. And you have your warranty registration card, which is cool. And of course you have your manual, and as you can see, this particular manual is also for the 545. Speaking of the 545, this gun essentially, this gun for all intents and purposes is identical to the 545 in just about, I would say visually, just about every area. And to illustrate that, I have my 545 right here. So we're going to verify clear real quick just to make sure this particular firearm is clear and there is no magazine in the gun. So this particular firearm is safe. So let's just take a look at the two. Now, I'm pretty sure it's really self-explanatory for anybody who's familiar with these particular guns, but I'm sure not everybody is, so I just wanted to give everyone a visual representation of how the two look side by side. And basically, like I said, just different markings. 545 here, 510 here, 45 ACP, 10 millimeter. And of course, for the geniuses who want to chime in, yeah, but you got a light mounted on that, and it's an Olight, man, Olight corny. Well, forget about the doggone Olight right now. I'll just take it off. And by the way, I don't hate on Olight. My Olight has served me just fine. So, anywho, back to the gun. So, basically, I mean, look, dimensionally, exactly the same. Sight systems, barrel length, slide length, optics, not optics, I'm sorry, but the optics mounted system, yes, but I mean the sights and everything. Triggers, fully ambi, and so on and so forth. And they also take down the same way. But I'll tell you what, for the nerds who might watch this video, let me work some movie magic real quick, strip them down, and then we could just compare the parts just for a little bit. All right, so hold that thought. I'll be right back. And we're back. And for you guys, it was just an instant. For me, a few seconds. So here we are. We have both the 510 on the left and the 545 on the right. Pretty much stripped for cleaning, servicing, whatever, right? As you can see, basically the parts, for all intents and purposes, look identical. If I didn't tell you which was which, from this angle, you wouldn't have known the difference. So let's just take a look at the frame. So again, this is the 545. This is the 510. That's what the frames look like. So I just recently cleaned these firearms, so that's why they look like this. So just an FYI. But as you can see, these are the frames. Again, like I said, they're identical. Okay. Pretty self-explanatory. All right. And the barrel and slide assemblies of the two. This is the 545 on the right and the 510 on the left. I don't want to mix these two up because obviously they're different calibers and they're different chamber pressures between the two. 10 millimeter being much more than that of 45 ACP. So I don't want to screw myself up. So I'm just making it a point to keep everything in their proper place. So there's that. But anywho, like I said, it's basically the same visually. Now, visually speaking, the only real difference that I noticed between the two comes down to the actual barrels themselves. So let's take a look at the barrels themselves. So here's the underside of the barrels. 10 millimeter on the left, 45 ACP on the right. And as you can basically see, the 45 ACP one obviously is the thicker one because 45 ACP is a thicker round, right? So, and there you have that, 45, 10 mil. And that's the only real cosmetic difference between the two. And I don't know if you can see the two feed ramps between the two. Let me just, I don't know if that's a decent enough angle for y'all. But they are very, very similar. Very similar indeed. So, but I mean, all in all, like I said, I just wanted to just show y'all that. Just to show you what it looks like. Like I said, Those who are familiar with either one of these guns pretty much already know the deal, but I just thought it would be cool just to do like a little visual side-by-side look between the two. And, you know, there we have that. So now that we have that out of the way, I am going to put everything back together again off camera, and then we just going to talk about how the FN510 handled on the range. Or I would say how it handled the first 150 rounds. All right, so hold that thought. I will be right back. And we're back. All right, so on the range. So let me just say a couple things first. Obviously, I'm familiar with the ergonomics of the 545. So going into my first trip out on the range with the 510, I already knew what to expect, kind of like as far as the ergonomics of the grip and how it feels in the hands and so on and so forth, because it feels identical to the 545. At the same token, we talking about 10 millimeters, so of course there's going to be a bit more of a kick or a snap to it. So I say all that to say I approached this with the mindset of not really knowing what to expect. But so when I got out there and I broke my first shot, it felt really good in the hand. Like I didn't think it would be crazy or overwhelming or anything like that. Like I just didn't know, and I just wanted to kind of keep an open mind because I didn't really want to be disappointed. So first shot, it felt really good. The trigger feels really good. The ergonomics of the grip and everything feels really good. Granted, my shots were going low left at first. I'm trying to get used to the thing, you know, shooting it and a new caliber. Plus, yes, my own crappy handgun marksman skills, whatever. But anyway, over time, my shot groups tightened up. And as I got more familiar with the pistol and the recoil impulse from firing 10 millimeter out of that platform, oh man, it was like butter. Just it was lights out. And I gotta say, I really do like it, and I can see where the hype is coming from as far as the FN510. You know, the optics height sights or the suppressor height sights, however you want to call it, are nice and tall. They're very easy to pick up, very quick to acquire that sight picture when you're on the shooting line or whatever the case may be. And, you know, for a gun of this type, the trigger was actually decent. It was a decent trigger, decent reset. Like I said, I got to get used to firing 10 millimeter out of that, and I will over time. So I say all that to say it was a pleasurable experience. I just did like 150 rounds of, I believe I had 2 boxes of MagTech 180 grain full metal jackets and a box of the Cellular and Bellet 180 grain full metal jackets, the flat nose, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, like I said, it ate them all with no problems. I didn't have any issues, any bobbles, stoppages, nothing. So again, initial impressions, like as far as right now goes, are very positive. I really like the gun. And compared to the other 10 millimeters that I have right now, that's going to be an interesting one. That being said, I'm definitely have to do another versus video. I have to do a 10 millimeter debate again between this. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to put my Glock 20 in the mix again. I might just compare it with the M&P, but I may just do all 3 again. I mean, I have my thoughts. I'm going to save it for that video. But for right now, I mean, I definitely see why the FN510 got the hype and the praise that it has. When you're talking about a stout caliber like 10 millimeter, which is, even for experienced shooters or larger frame shooters such as myself, can be kind of uncomfortable depending on the platform that you're talking about. This particular gun, the 510, it tames that recoil. So, I mean, all in all, this particular gun definitely gets a high recommend for me. Is it the king of the 10 millimeter striker fire pistols? Well, only time will tell. You still got to go through the vetting process. I still got a lot more rounds that I got to put through this. And after I get to the end of that, then I'm going to compare it to my other 2 pistols. But all in all, so far so good. This thing is a beast. So I'm looking forward to the testing. But anyway, guys, what do y'all think of the FN510? Let me know down there in the comments. Now, just tell me, if you have the pistol, what's your experience been with it? All right, you know, what have your experiences been with the pistol so far? Let me just put it like that. I'm getting tongue tied. I'm sorry. If not, are you thinking about getting this gun? Is this something that you could see being a home defense gun, concealed carry, bear defense gun, whatever the case may be? Now, we'll say this pistol, I think the MSRP, according to FN's website, is a little over $1,130. Let me check real quick. Let's see here. Yeah, so for the tactical version right now, as of today, the MSRP is $1,139 on FN's website. So street price will definitely vary. It would depend on your local area, where you find it, and so on and so forth. I paid significantly less than that. So either way, it's not a cheap gun by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not overly expensive for what you're getting, at least in my personal opinion. So just keep that in mind if you're looking to get something like this. So, but anyway, like I said, let me know what you think about the FN510 and what you think about this video. Definitely let me know down in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. And listen, as always, I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time out to watch this video today, spending this time with your big homie. And that's all for now. So this is your big homie, and I'm out, y'all. Peace.